So right now we're getting ready for the real meat of this worship service and get ready for the message by our minister Bill. But leading
Actually,
up to
Father,
that, leading up to that message, we have a song that's coming by Baba Jeffrey with his skill and taste and lack of, great picking of songs for us. So let's listen to that song and then get ready. Let our hearts and minds, our spirits be in place to get that message from Minister Bill. Ah, shit. Habarigani, Nguzo Saba, Habarigani, the 7 days of Kwanzaa, Habarigani, Nguzo Saba, Habarigani, the 7 days of Kwanzaa, on the 7 days of Kwanzaa that we celebrate each year. There's a special question I know you will hear. There's a special answer for each special day. When you got that spirit, you'll know what to say. Habarigani, Nguzo Saba, Habarigani, the 7 days of Kwanzaa. Habarigani, Nguzo Saba, Habarigani, the 7 days of Kwanzaa. On the first day of Kwanzaa, Umoja, unity of a people, Umoja.
On the second day of Kwanzaa, kujichagulia, self-determination,
Kujichagulia. On the third day of Kwanzaa, Ujima, collective work and responsibility, Ujima.
on the fourth day of Kwanzaa, Ujamaa, cooperative economics, Ujamaa. On the fifth day of Kwanzaa, Nia, living life with purpose, Nia.
On the sixth day of Kwanzaa, Kumba, African creativity, Kumba. On the seventh day of Kwanzaa, Imani, African people keep the faith, Imani. Habarigani, Nguzo Saba, Habarigani, the 7 days of Kwanzaa. Habarigani, Nguzo Saba, Habarigani, 7 days of Kwanzaa.
Habarigani. What is the news, we'll say? What is the news? As we reach final days of 2023, we're still figuring out our new post-COVID normal and reaching out again through Kwanzaa to grow our people in partnership with our neighbors who share our culture. We are very happy to be back again in community, to partner again with our neighbors at the City of Refuge, to celebrate the principle of Ujima in Oakland this Thursday. And in Sacramento, as we prepare for our NIA celebration this Saturday, we're happy to see 6 other Kwanzaa events planned by our Sacramento neighbors. Most of all, we're grateful for the abundant blessings of Amun Ra, empowering us to keep growing our people, ever stronger in body, mind, and spirit. As we renew our traditions, I'd like to relay a few words from our scholars around the origins of Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa. Really, it started with Ngaudamu's daughter, Baraka, who at the school questioned, how come we don't have a holiday? And Ngaudamu was the elder. He was our elder.
Okay.
He was Karenga's advisor. And he had 3 children, but Baraka was his oldest daughter. And she asked us the question, why don't we have a holiday? Everybody else got a holiday, we don't. We were like, well, you know, we're Black Power. You know, she was like, no, we need something to celebrate. So Karenga said, okay, let's do some research. We were at UCLA, we were at SC, we were at the main library in Los Angeles, any place where we thought we could get the information that we needed, you know, and write it down and stuff. So we did a lot of research on different aspects of cultural life. So when it came time to do Kwanzaa, Karenga really became interested in like the yam festivals over in Africa, the harvest festivals and things, because he liked those kind of celebrations, you know, and stuff. But what we had to do was to translate that into something we could practice here in America, you know, and stuff.
This little girl
Baraka.
really gave birth to Kwanzaa.
Yeah. She's the one who made us get up off of our butts and really do the research. Karenga set up the committee. Sabira headed it. His wife, Haiba, was on it. And Ngaudamu and me. That was that committee, that Kwanzaa, that first one. Now, as we went along, other people were added. The 4 of us sat down and we mapped out, you know, how we were going to research. Somebody was going to do South African festivals and stuff. Somebody was going to do East African. Somebody was going to do West African. Somebody was going to do Northern African, you know. And then you had the Central, the Congo, and all of that. We each had our different parts. We each went out, you know, the libraries and whatever else we could do, and researched it, brought back the information, and then we sat down with Karenga and told him what we had found out, and he was also doing research and looking up things and, you know, and so we were sharing information back and forth between him and the committee.
Did this committee have a name?
It was a Kwanzaa committee.
Okay.
That's all.
So you knew it was going to be called Kwanzaa?
Yeah.
No, we didn't know that.
But it was.
No, we didn't. We were just a committee.
So it wasn't a Kwanzaa committee.
No.
It was
Like
just
a holiday festival
Right.
celebration?
We were just a research committee.
Okay.
We were a
Researching.
research committee.
For some
Researching
for a holiday.
African festivals to create a holiday. We knew what our purpose was, but we weren't the Kwanzaa committee. Karenga did name the holiday.
Oh, he did.
He got the name Kwanzaa. He did. He named the holiday. Okay, I don't have no problem. He named it. The only thing is that he wanted to use Kwanzaa in Swahili. There's only one A.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of arguments with Swahili scholars about our changing and adding that other A to make it a holiday, because it isn't a traditional word. Kwanzaa is not a traditional word.
And so the first celebration was in 1966. 66.
It was up in Baldwin Hills, the jungle. Yes, you didn't know that? Yes, it was up in Baldwin Hills, up in the jungle. As a matter of fact, it was at Naibu Tayati's cousin's house, cousin's apartment.
Now, when you say up there, there's the Baldwin Hills, the top of the jungle. Then there's down in the jungle.
Top. We
Was
weren't on the
above-
bottom.
You weren't in the jungle. Okay.
Who gave the presentations about Kwanzaa? Obviously, Karinga gave one. Was he the only one?
No. And Galdamu did the explanation of why we were there and what we were celebrating. And that it was a look back on our year's work. Kwanzaa is a look back on what you've done for the whole year for the Black community. That's what Kwanzaa was, and then Gal gave that talk.
Yes, that is our tradition. Bring our elders in to advise us, to keep us in sync with the full flow of our African history. And by the way, those of us who look at language understand sometimes you do want to change words. It is in our power to change words, to modify words, to create new meanings. This is what was done. And in Kacheko Davis's words, we hear echoes of the Hosea. Be not arrogant because of your knowledge. Take counsel with the ignorant as well as the wise. For the limits of knowledge in any field have never been set, and no one has ever reached them. From the very start, Kwanzaa had many contributors, and Nguzo Saba was in use, even in Kwanzaa's initial creation. As we remind ourselves to do, Kwanzaa's developers were using the power entrusted to them to continue growing our culture, to continue the process of creation. The team needed umoja to be unified, to complete the large body of cultural research that went into Kwanzaa. USC and UCLA could set scholarship standards, but there were no close precedents. The team needed a great deal of kujichagulia, self-determination, to define an African focus and scope in collaboration with their African community, with their elder, Ngaudamu. The research required substantial ujima, with each team fulfilling their responsibilities in completing the collective work of the initial celebration. Of course, Dr. Karenga led the team in writing and publishing the first guides for the holiday, and he remains the lead scholar today and the primary spokesman for the effort. But the holiday would not publicize itself or promote itself. That promotional role was famously taken up by Sister Makinya Sibeko Kawati. Ashe. And the collective work and responsibility continue even now, as WOSE and other organizations host our Kwanzaa events. Knowing our purpose, Nia, is to strengthen ourselves and our people through the holiday, enriching ourselves and each other with Koumba, our African creativity. With faith in the scholars, teachers, and parents who brought us forward, our Imani, we joyfully embrace and renew our traditions for the growth and prosperity of our people. At the same time, Kwanzaa 2023 is not quite like other Kwanzaas. Coming as it does, as we slowly establish our post-COVID norms, we're reminded of our scholar, Jacob Carruthers, one of the founders of ASCAP, the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilization. As we rebuild from COVID setbacks, Dr. Carruthers' writings remind us of Kemet's multiple periods of Wahimi Misu, the repetition of birth. For us, 3 years of COVID surely feels long, but the repetition of birth in Kemet actually took multiple generations. Dr. Carruthers wrote, "A new era seems to begin 4,000 years ago, when Amenhotep pronounced Wahimi Misu as his Horus name. The Renaissance began with the publication of a text that emphasized good speech as the route to restoration. Literary productions characterized the period. Old texts were revised and new genres were established for the creation of new literary directions. Thus, the spirit of this rebirth was not merely rote repetition of the past. Rather, it was the establishment of a new edifice on the firm foundations of ancient tradition. Historical evaluations were both positive and negative, which indicates a good critical historiography. The outstanding examples of negative evaluation selected past people and events are found in the story called The Eloquent Peasant, and tales attributed to the sons of Khufu, as well as the Lamentation. During the rebirth, manufacturing industry, medicine, architecture, engineering, and what we'd call fine arts developed in accordance with the literary canon. Governance, especially in relation to civil service bureaucracy, was fine-tuned, resulting in a centralization and professionalization of government. At the same time, theology developed more subtle and complex themes. The spirit exuded the first half of the period gave rise to unprecedented economic and cultural prosperity. The temple city at Waset was developed. The power and wealth of Kemet during this period is attested by the physical memorial at sites like Waset and the Valley of the Kings and the Nobles. Literary production was prolific. Truly, this is the era later described as when Egypt ruled the East. Dr. Carruthers emphasized how Kemet flourished, but faced serious struggles with each rebirth. Though we're not on that multi-generational scale, our post-COVID rebirth also presents challenges. The Hosea tells us, serve God that he may protect you. Serve your brothers and sisters that you may enjoy a good reputation. Serve a wise person that he or she may serve you. Serve one who serves you. Serve any person so you may benefit from it. Our Kwanzaa celebrations are a great start in that service. We will not only have a chance to meet some of our neighbors and share our commitment to the Nguzo Saba, they will each have a chance to meet each other, to connect and discover new value in new relationships together. How will we serve and strengthen our communities the rest of the year? How can we offer the greatest value with the resources we have? Who are the best partners and how can we contribute to their good works? For now, Sister Michelle and Sister Karen regularly sell food at the African market. We routinely offer service to a Sacramento entertainment group. We're celebrating Ujima with the City of Refuge. We host services in partnership with the Brick House and the African market. Much as we're re-engaging our local partners, we should also re-engage our long-term global partners. Minister Amadi has generously offered us insights and welcomed us to ASCAC events. We should strengthen and broaden our ties with a wider community dialogue. Our scholars can only offer us relevant insights when they clearly know our needs. So that full exchange is truly essential. Surely many of us have noticed the public outreach and engagement efforts of Dr. Carr, Dr. Greg Carr at Howard. He and other scholars are still working on our behalf, still training new scholars to address our new challenges. As we engage scholars at our founding, we must re-engage our scholars now. We must continue our role in making our challenges known and framing the issues relevant to our communities. ASCAC, Kemetic Institute, us, the Panthers, and others have nurtured new scholars. Those new scholars continue to refine their founders' insights. We must renew our iman, our faith in our scholars and teachers. The Pur'ah famously called forth the eloquent peasant to get wisdom beyond the temple. We too must reach beyond ourselves to get the wisdom of the many scholars advancing our culture beyond our view. We must invite and hear what our new scholars have learned. As we begin our 2023 Kwanzaa, we pray Amun-Ra will bring our spirits together and strengthen us, lift and empower us in 2024 to leave our community, our people, and all that we see ever more beautiful and beneficial. Harambe! Harambe! Harambe.
Rambe,
Oh, shit.
Rambe, Ram,
Harambe. Ashe, Brother Bill.
Are, Brother
Harambe.
Bill.
Harambe.
Ashe, Brother Bill has brought us the word. We need to do all we can, every way we can, to make our lives more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited. And that comes through us developing unity, inviting our people from whatever organization they're in to work with us and to look for our people in whatever organization they're in that we can work with them. Unity, that we can develop a sense of self-determination as a people, not individuals. That self-determination involves all of us working together to define, name, create, and speak for ourselves as a people. And on down the list, that we need to just bring those principles out and go work with them and share them and see who's doing, maybe doing more than we're doing, and just work together. And so we want to extend the invitation. If there's someone here that's looking for a spiritual home, a spiritual organization to bring your energy to bring your spirit to, and get some spirit from us, so we're inviting you right now to let that be known. We can invite you and share with you how the Rose community works, and what work you can do with us, for us, and we can work with you and for you. All of us working together for our people near and far, from not only the city of Oakland, not only Sacramento, not only California, certainly not only US of A, but in the motherland, Caribbean, wherever we are as a people, we're endeavoring to work together to liberate and uplift ourselves, give our children a meaningful path for their lives, so they won't be sucked in by so-called social media, sucked in by so-called artificial intelligence, artificial ignorance. So if you are looking for a spiritual home, we are looking for you.